I mean, we're happy to. We're going to put the facts on the table, and then we'll open it up for discussions. I do see a lot of comments. People want to know. You really cannot call it a scam yet, but we have to start looking into it. And so, without much delay, Doctor, yours.
And that's the kind of monumental, believe it or not, or one of these records which I think very few people can cross. I originally called him a trapeze artist because the trapeze artist in a circus, he'll come down and then he'll turn around and go this way and so on. So I mean, Adani can, is very flexible. He will be one day in gas, and the other day he will be in aeroplanes, and then fourth day will be in ships, and so on. So a versatile man, but as long as you are within the law, we admire versatile people. But someone who destroys the system, who makes accountability zero, we can't have a high opinion of such people. And today, what's happened, which is what we are going to discuss, and we have got two great experts who deal with this subject, Ramesh and SREE Iyer. They have a track record of exposing many things. So I really look forward to hearing them, but I'd just like to say one thing, that Adani has used every Samadama Bedadand, as they used to say in Sanskrit. He took over the Bombay airport just by telling the Prime Minister's office that send the ED, send the CBI, send this, send that. And that poor man who was owning the Bombay airport, he just collapsed and he signed on the dotted line. Same thing with the GMR, he just signed on the dotted line. The same thing with NDTV, it's like that. He's been buying up. He's now in practically every field there is. So, but he's also a great influencer in politics, and that worries me a lot. And his connections with the Chinese also extremely, very long term. I think he owes the Chinese about $8 billion, if I'm not wrong. This foreign elements with whom he's leveraging is bad for a country which has talked about Atmanirbharta. And it's just an undoing of that Atmanirbharta. So, what I would like both these experts, Ramesh and SREE Iyer, is to explain what has happened. You see, there are two big blows have come. They are not connected, but they are part of the multidimensional focus that is now internationally against Modi and his tenure and his handling of the government. And therefore, the first was BBC. You saw the reaction was totally unnecessary because it's just a private, publicly owned private company, and it's not the government. And we went, and after banning it, and so that nobody saw what was being broadcast, the string of abuses from all sections came orchestrated. Now we have something different. The closest friend of Narendra Modi and the Amit Shah is now in a cloud. Now, whether this company, where the facts that have come out will sustain in a court, And if Adani will indeed file a case, which in my opinion I would not advise him to, because it will be on the anti-suit injunction principle of of our laws, of an international laws. It will get transferred to America, because the company which made the allegation was in America, and it would I think the American courts will hold that they can't be tried. The defamatory items that were brought out by that company cannot be tried in India, because it was released in the United States, even if it has traveled to India. So that law is called anti-suit injunctions, and it's widely used in business companies fighting. So Mr. Adani will have to go to America, and that is a ground which will be hostile to him. So, and if he doesn't, then of course his reputation is dashed, that all that was said was true, and therefore he was not in a position to do anything about it. So we want, I would like first to hear the technical side of the whole matter from Mr. Ramesh and Mr. I should call them now Herr Professor Ramesh and Herr Professor SREE Iyer. And
Ramesh, why don't you go first, because yours is the 20,000 foot level thing.
Okay, I'll do that. So I'm just going to start off with just a slide. Guys who are using a phone, I'm sorry, we just can't do much. Bear with us. We'll try to see if we can share this on our Twitter feed, but for now, Dr. Swami, if you look at the Adani's whole conglomerate, of the companies, the main companies, you can see that APM as investment fund is about 2.3 billion, Cresta, LTS. One very interesting company out there is Elara India. And guess who is the guy behind it, Chetan Parekh. And we all know. So we all know what happened with Chetan Parekh. Oh, he was in jail. He got out. Now he's living off in UK, and very famous him. So these companies have invested some money into the Adani groups. But the very interesting fact about Adani money that is coming in is all coming routed through one single or maybe a few people within his family only. And the biggest guy who's investing is Vinod Adani. We'll go and justify, because if they flag this as a report, they have to put that in their balance sheet. I don't think any bank is going to risk doing that. Suspected stock parking of entities accounted for so this is also, again, lack of SEBI oversight. They're really not doing what they're supposed to do. Or even the other authorities in India, they're absolutely sleeping over this, because 4 days, somebody should have said. The most important fact is, Dr. Swami, from 2014 to date, Adani Group has started 270 companies. 125 of them are based in UK. This is exclusive VHS research, thanks to Swaminathan from VHS. He's done an excellent piece of research on this. 270 companies have been started from 2014. Amazing pace at which these companies have been started. All of the largest was around 170 is in Gujarat, 120, 155, 160 in Gujarat, 125 in London, rest all over the place. I'll just quickly share that slide, because I don't know how many people can really see this. You can always see this. Specifically Australia, SREE's got an interesting story, so he's going to talk about that. So if you look at this London, he's picked up the pace from 2016, Dr. Swami, 2015 he started 11 companies. After that, he's on a cliff, and he's made 125 companies in London. It's all got the same address. Go figure what that means. Nobody knows what that address is. So these are the kind of things it is on paper allowed in India, which is amazing. I still cannot believe that you can just start bogus companies like this, shell companies like this. That's exactly what the Hindenburg report says. It's not as the Hindenburg report says that Adani and groups have hidden or kind of made the fund flow through shell companies. Nobody knows who the company is, and auditors have been sleeping. I think the Adani group has issued a point-by-point reply, but I don't think that's flying, because if that report, if Adani's response was accepted, the market could have, what we're seeing, we would see that tomorrow. The market opens tomorrow. We're going to see what's going to happen to the Adani stock. It's going to have a severe impact. In my view, it has not made a change. He's still trying to do damage control, which by far, because this is blown out globally. And you could see everybody, and one of the biggest, quote unquote, Wall Street bull, he has said that the Hindenburg report is very credible. So, I just wanted to, and I think you repeated that too. And with this, SREE, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hand this over to you because it's a kind of a good segue from here, because I think what you're going to talk about would just work from it. So I'm just going to close down. Guys, I just wanted to present what are the facts. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm not making any conclusions. As I said, what is the government doing or going to do? It's very crucial, not just for Adani and his company. It's for the future, because the government, Modi wants to do a $5 trillion economy. Do a $5 trillion happen, and these kind of blow up in the face of India. There's a lot of good entrepreneurs out there, Dr. Swami. You really want to start. They will get hurt because the credibility, per se, as you said, the credibility of not only Adani, across the globe, the credibility of people wanting to invest in India. Oh my God, I don't want to invest in another guy who's building a union on a shell company, can't be bogus. Last but not the least, I just want to say this. I am amazed by the IT cell dumbos who are saying if Adani fails, Modi fails. It's ridiculous. Why are you implicating the Prime Minister in this? He's got nothing to do with this. You say,
BJP IT cell.
Yeah, the group.
You said IT cell, but
not BJP. IT cell. The group with BJP, whatever we call the IT celliers, they are saying, I'm going to buy so many shares. And some of them have apparently bought shares of Adani on Saturday. They're brilliant people. I really wish I could know how they bought shares on a Saturday when the stock market is closed. People bought 5,000 shares of Adani. So it is amazing that we can, we have such quote unquote brilliant saying, putting up the show. It's BJP or the party should not defend what's happening in the support. It's up to Adani and his group to defend it. The party and its supporters should stay away, because this is really, quote unquote, stupid to bring in the PM or anybody else. The job of the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister is to do what the government has to say. You can't say, oh, Adani failure means a Modi failure. That's kind of really stupid, pushing it. So, SREE, I'm just going to hand it over to you from this point.
Thank you very much, Ramesh. And viewers, I recently got a patent, and I was tom-tomming that I got a new patent in fintech space and so on and so forth. In my recent trip to India, I was talking about my patent to a friend of mine, and he looked at it. He said, I kind of understand what you're trying to do, but who do you entrepreneur? And
I know that
it's all provided in this.
Yeah, well.
So, Dr. Swami, we have explained what we have done so far. So, we are just waiting for your comments.
No, let's say here, Arvind also.
Oh, okay, Arvind. Muted, sir.
I have many questions.
He's from management science. He's a professor of management science. So,
Arvind, आप हिंदी में बोलिए, please.
मैं बता दूं. Namely Mr. SREE Iyer and Ramesh Swami.
Over to you, sir.
Over to me, okay. See, listen, for a big country like India, international conspiracies against the Prime Minister is natural.
Right.
Opening. I would say that Narasimha Rao was there, Desai also. They could talk like Thailand and so forth, Burma. So, I think what we have to see is that has something gone on a proper procedure and according to merit. Nobody is willing to say that Adani has got anything by merit. There is nothing that is got by merit. And he owes foreign countries, I think he owes the Chinese a lot of money. And that is a factor that we have to worry. Maybe that kind of influence is the reason why Koi Aaya Nahi, Modi said immediately. And today it's getting very embarrassing because the state of Ladakh or the Union Territory of Ladakh the DGP had a conference and he identified out of 60 posts, 26 or something have been taken over by the Chinese or not accessible to India anymore, which means the Chinese have taken it over. So I think we are considering these things, although we find all these outrageous and therefore to some extent even funny. The fact is the country, India's, India's national security is implicated in this. That anybody can come here and do business. And Adani is not a Swadeshi man. He's got a lot of connections with foreign companies, a lot of connections with nations abroad, not necessarily friendly to India. So I'm looking at it from that broader picture. And I think that this has to be a public debate. And the Prime Minister, if he is not indebted to Mr. Adani, he should, on the basis of this report which the Americans have produced, whatever their motivation, he should set up a committee of people, people with some impeccable standing, and give them this thing and say, tell me whether this has any substance on which I have to take action. And take action. So, that is the way I think we can have a strong democracy. And nobody, neither the BGBC or the Americans or anybody can target Nehru, target Modi, because targeting Nehru used to be used as a weapon to protect Nehru from all the fiascos, like what he did with China, just gave away our land. And today also we are having the same problem. It's being kept a secret. So that is the core issue, why we are going to the public. I mean, I can go and file a FIR against Adani any day. That's not a difficulty. I've done that in the past. I've done it with Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi on National Herald. Scams of this sort, you can easily do it. But the fact is that it involves for us, it's a matter of shame because we came to power, the BJP came to power on the plank of fighting corruption and bringing back all illegal money abroad back to India and that sort of thing. And now we are finding that we ourselves are promoting it, or apparently promoting it. So that rot has to be stopped before the next elections come. Otherwise, the public is not a very forgiving public if they find you've been betrayed. That's the sum total of why I'm interested in this matter.
बिफोर रमेश और श्री अय्यर आंसर, एक सवाल मैं आप दोनों से पूछना चाहता हूं. आप दोनों यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका में हैं. हिंडनबर्ग की रिपोर्ट वहां से आई है. क्या
दोनों माने रमेश और श्री
अय्यर. हिंडनबर्ग जो एजेंसी है और जो इनके जो कर्ता धर्ता हैं, और कहा जाता है कि बहुत छोटी सी कंपनी है, और वो कह रहे हैं कि 2 साल उनको लगे इतने अनुसंधान करने में, इतना रिसर्च करने में 2 साल लगे. मुझे नहीं लगता कि इतनी ऐसी जो रिसर्च रिपोर्ट 100 पेज की रिपोर्ट है उसके लिए 2 साल लगने चाहिए, अलग बात है. लेकिन इज देयर एनी मोटिव behind this Hindenburg report? Can you also investigate into this?
Arvindji, quickly, let me just jump in. Shri, you can join. Why are we worried about the motive?
Okay.
One. Okay. Second, this is only about Adani. So why are we stretching this, saying that it's an attack on India? I don't buy that theory because, see, this is again buying into...
No, Ramesh, let me stop you. Why I said this is that BJP Andhbhaks and Gandhbhaks, they have started attacking all sorts of people, saying that this attack is on not Adani, this attack is on Modi.
That's exactly my point. It is stupidity to say that because it is an attack on one company. We cannot equate. Why are we digging our own grave? BJP and supporters should not be digging the grave. Modi? Why should Modi jump into it? I mean, it is ridiculous to say that it is an attack on Modi. It is an attack. So what are you implying, BJP people, when you're saying attacking Adani is attacking Modi, that Modi is, you're implicating Modi there. Don't do that. I mean, this is an attack on a company, number one. Two, you said, oh, the company is small. They've spent 2 years to do the research. Yeah, the company is small. They made sure that they dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. Whether it is right or wrong, you go to court and try to prove it. Well, he goes to the US court, discovery. He just stripped down to his undies. Let me tell you, let them try suing in America. I am telling you, he has no clue what it means by discovery. Dr. Swami is an expert on it. So I can tell you, let him go try suing in America. It'll be fun. I mean, I can tell you, he probably has to start another company or probably start another legal company for this fact. But it's just not going to fly because those guys are going to say based on these research, okay, if you want additional material, please open up all your books. We're going to come in, go into each and every entity of yours. I don't think Adani is that stupid. He has been in and out of DRA scanner, so he is a very seasoned, quote unquote, businessman. So let's just not. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's not attack the report. The facts are facts. Let Adani reply one by one saying why he's wrong or proving the market. Right at the end of the day, how are you going to prove that wrong? Show in the market that you can do better than and prove the Hindenburg report wrong. But the point, Arvindji, one thing I can take from what you said, the Hindenburg report has exposed the biggest chinks in the armor as far as the Indian funding system, because Dr. Swami has been raising these objections multiple times. You've done so many shows on Words of Wisdom about the NPA, about the participatory notes, the
notes, yes.
funding,
Yeah.
and the recent case that Dr. Swami has against the RBI. Why are the NPA secret? It is just unfathomable for me. It's public money, people money. Why should that NPA data be secret?
Yeah.
So I think Dr. Swami has a case in the RBI. This report is in a way good for India to clean up the system, as Dr. Swami said in his introduction. Use this tool to clean up a lot of these things that are going on. Sri, thank you. Go, please. Your take.
धन्यवाद रमेश जी। अरविंद जी, मेरा सिर्फ ये कहना है कि अगर आप समझते हैं, यानी कि अदानी ग्रुप के लोग समझते हैं कि इसमें झूठ है, तो अवश्य आप यूएस में आकर लड़ सकते हैं। लेकिन इसकी एक डेंजर है, जब यूएस कोर्ट में जब आपको डेफेमेशन सूट लगाएंगे तो डिस्कवरी प्रोसेस होती है, जहां पर हिंडनबर्ग वाले पूछेंगे हर चीज, आपने कहां से ये लाए, ये कहां से लाए, इसका क्या प्रॉपर प्रोसीजर था। तो इस प्रोसीजर के लफड़े में, इसमें अटक कर चक्रव्यूह में ये फंस जाएंगे और पूरा महाभारत बाहर आएगा। किस तरह से यहां से लेकर वहां डाला, वहां से लेकर और कहीं डाला, इस तरह की एक प्रॉपर जो होती है, यानी कि एक कंपनी की शेयर बढ़ाना हो तो दूसरे ग्रुप कंपनी को इस कंपनी के शेयर्स को खरीदे तो ये जरा ऊपर जाता है, तो तब इसको बोलते हैं ये ठीक है, ये ठीक है। तो ये जब एवरी टाइम एक कंपनी की शेयर उभरती है तो लोग क्या समझते हैं, हाँ इसमें कुछ दम है तो मैं थोड़ा पैसा लाता हूं। तो इसमें क्या होता है, एक तरह का एक माहौल बनता है कि अदानी के अदानी पावर अच्छी है तो रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स भी उसके अंदर कूद पड़ते हैं। लेकिन जब अंदर सब खोखा है तो तब सबको मालूम पता चलेगा कि जो प्रोवर्बियल एक्सप्रेशन है ना, द एम्पायर इज नॉट वेयरिंग एनी क्लोथ्स, यहाँ का यही होता है। तो मेरे अनुसार ये अदानी जो कह रहे हैं, उनके सीएफओ जो ने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया है कि हम सू करेंगे यूएस में, ये सिर्फ बंडलबाजी है। तो ये नहीं कर सकते, ये करेंगे तो और ज्यादा इनका नुकसान होगा। और मैं
एक और चीज छोड़ देता हूँ आपको कि ऐसा वो केस डालेंगे डेफेमेशन का, तो उसमें ज्यूरी सिस्टम होती है, तो ज्यूरी डिसाइड करती है। तो सारे अमेरिकन बैठे होते हैं। जब मोरारजी देसाई ने फाइल की थी अमेरिका में, इसने कहा कि ये CIA मोरारजी देसाई को कोई इस पर विश्वास नहीं करता, ये थर्ड रेट जर्नलिस्ट है, काई को आप नहीं मैं उनको एक सबक सिखा रहा हूँ। They went to America and filed it, and in the jury, the jury said, "What is wrong in being a CIA agent? How is that a defamation for you?"
हाँ, तो मैं एक और बात मैं जरा हमारे दर्शकों को कहना चाहता हूँ। ये जो पोर्ट की कहानी चल रही है, विरिंजम पोर्ट, इसके बारे में दो शब्द मैं कहना चाहूंगा। देखिए ये विरिंजम पोर्ट अगर वो बनती है, अभी तो उसके सामने काफी रुकावट डाले गए हैं, चर्च कर रही है और बाकी जो एलिमेंट्स हैं। देखिए ये सीपीआईएम गवर्नमेंट को ना सिर्फ हड़ताल करने आता है, इनको कोई एक अच्छा चीज करने में ऑलवेज थोड़ी सी मुश्किलात होती है। तो विरिंजम पोर्ट जो है अगर वो बनेगा भी तो वहां से इंटरनेशनल शिपिंग लेन कुछ 11 या 12 किलोमीटर दूर है। जब गुड्स आते हैं ना तो कई ऐसे कंटेनर होते हैं जो कि अंदर नहीं आ सकते, तो इसके लिए आपको ये 11-12 किलोमीटर के लिए आपको ड्रेजिंग करना पड़ेगा डीप सी, ताकि वो आए पोर्ट के अंदर। अगर वही चीज आप कोलंबो के पोर्ट में देखते हैं तो वहां पर सिर्फ 1 किलोमीटर की दूरी है इंटरनेशनल शिपिंग लेन। तो जो काम जो बनता है कम बनता है। तो मैं ये क्यों कह रहा हूं ये सब, राम सेतु के बारे में अगर आप पढ़ेंगे आजकल तो नितिन गडकरी जी का भी एक स्टेटमेंट आया था कि हम एक रोड ब्रिज बनाएंगे जो कि राम सेतु के बगल में जाएगा, लेकिन वो इसको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेगा। ये कॉन्सेप्ट इसीलिए दोहराया गया है क्योंकि भारत ने अब तक 90,000 करोड़ रुपए श्रीलंका को शोर अप करने के लिए दिए हैं। इस इन्वेस्टमेंट को अगर भारत रिटर्न करना चाहेगा तो उसके लिए एक एवेन्यू है, वो है कि एक रोड ब्रिज डाल दे मल्टी लेन बोथ वेज, ताकि कॉमर्स जो है 55 किलोमीटर से दूरी ज्यादा नहीं है। और अगर वो ऐसा डालेंगे ताकि वो जाफना के पास यानी कि नॉर्दर्न टिप के पास जाकर पहुंचेगा भारत से, तो वहां की जो इकोनॉमी है वो सबसे डिप्रेस्ड है क्योंकि वो जो वहां पे जो एलटीटी की वॉर चलती थी उनको तो रहने के कपड़े भी नहीं है। तो अभी एक और चीज माना जाता है कि जहां वो श्रीलंकन तमिल जो है उस आधा से ज्यादा बाहर निकल चुके हैं, बट ये अगर ऐसा करेंगे भारत तो शायद इससे कुछ उनके लिए भी कुछ भलाई होगा। लेकिन इन सब चीजों में अदानी का कुछ रूपरेखा नहीं है। वो एक ब्रिज होगा, वो ब्रिज को जो भी अच्छा बिड करता है उसको दें प्रोजेक्ट। सो इसमें तो इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिलेटिव एफिशिएंसी कोलंबो का पोर्ट शायद इससे अच्छा है, लेकिन इसमें भी वही प्रॉब्लम होगा जो डॉक्टर स्वामी ने जिक्र किया था कि कोलंबो से कहां जब वो रोड ब्रिज जो बनती है वहां तक पहुंचेंगे कैसे। तो उसके लिए दो रास्ते हैं। टीयर ड्रॉप आइलैंड है, या तो आप बाहर से जा सकते हैं या तो अंदर से जा सकते हैं। अंदर से जाने में प्रॉब्लम क्या है, राम सेतु को तोड़ना पड़ेगा, वो बिल्कुल नामुमकिन है। नॉट बिकॉज इट इज राम सेतु, नॉट बिकॉज इट इज ओनली राम सेतु। इसका एक और प्रॉब्लम है, वहां की जो डेप्थ है ओशन की सिर्फ 10 या 15 मीटर का डेप्थ है। पार्क बे कहते हैं उसको। आप नीचे देखेंगे तो आप देख सकते हैं जमीन दिखती है आपको, तो समुद्र के। तो जब भी आप अगर आप ड्रेड्ज भी करेंगे ना तो रोज रोज आपको मिट्टी निकालना पड़ेगा, और इससे क्या होता है कि इकोलॉजिकल डिस्ट्रक्शन बहुत ज्यादा बन जाएगी। तो ये तो छोटे छोटे चीज हैं जो बात करने हैं। और आप लोग पूछ सकते हैं क्यों हमको पड़ी है कि अब एक इंटरनेशनल पोर्ट चाहिए, यानी क्यों विरिंजम या कोलंबो, इसकी क्या जरूरत है। मैं इसकी जरूरत कहता हूं आपको, अगर प्राय शायद हमारे दर्शकों को ये पता नहीं है, जब भी भारत क्रूड खरीदती है तो ये क्रूड कहां से आता है पता है, सिंगापुर से आता है, क्योंकि सिंगापुर में स्टोरेज फैसिलिटीज हैं जो कि भारत में नहीं है। तो जब इस हर चीज के लिए सिंगापुर को जाकर भारत को एक टैक्स भरना पड़ता है। इसके अलावा इंस्टेड ऑफ सिंगापुर क्यों ना या तो त्रिकोणामलई में कर सकते हैं जो कि ऊपर साइड पे है, या कोलंबो में एक पोर्ट बना सकते हैं जहां पर आप स्टोरेज फैसिलिटीज के साथ एक पोर्ट बना सकें। देन भारत को ये सिंगापुर को जाने की जरूरत नहीं होगी। और डॉक्टर स्वामी, जहां तक हम सोचते हैं कि श्रीलंका चाइना के जेब में बैठ चुका है, वही हाल सिंगापुर का भी है सर जी। तो ये यहाँ थोड़े से अलग चीज है। तो लेट अस कीप द राम सेतु असाइड फॉर अ मोमेंट। बट अदानी के, जहां तक अदानी का सवाल है, इसमें आपको यही देखना है कि इसके ये केस में, इसके एलिगेशन, इस रिपोर्ट में क्या दम है। और ये मेरा जितना भी रिसर्च हुआ है ये सब सच है, और ये जो किया गया है ये हुआ है। अब इससे बाहर कैसे निकलेंगे ये सिर्फ गौतम अदानी जाने और उनके भाई जाने।
एक स्पष्टीकरण करना है। आज की परिस्थिति में श्रीलंका की जो चाइना का झुकाव है बहुत बहुत दुर्बल हो गया है, कम हो गया है, क्योंकि इस बार मैं कहूँगा कि मेरी बात सुनकर किया तो लोग ईर्ष्या में डूब जाएंगे, तो मैं कहता हूँ कि इस बार सरकार ने 90,000 करोड़ रुपए की मदद की है, और उसमें कोई कंडीशन वंडीशन कुछ नहीं किया। और ये जो लोग हमारे एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर बाहर जाकर वहाँ अंग्रेज़ों के राज में जो होता था यानी दबाव, वो सब कुछ होना नहीं, बिल्कुल सीधी दी गई। उससे इतना असर पड़ा है कि आज के माहौल में श्रीलंका बहुत प्रो इंडियन हो गए है। इसको जारी रखना है, आगे बढ़ाना है। So we must conclude now. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question. One last question, Dr. Swami. At the end of the day, if I think they'll be able to come out, but at the end of the day, exposure is pretty high. I hope the government doesn't intervene, do a bailout. I think that will be a huge impact. And I think it's best that the government doesn't intervene in the event something goes wrong. The government should not intervene and do a bailout. I don't think the banks, because the exposure is pretty high, Dr. Swami. I think the banks or the PSUs that have invested a lot should be wary going forward. Let's just wait out, because Hindenburg, at the end of the day, the short company, they have openly disclosed that they shorted Adani because they feel so many irregularities. The stock valuation is way too high. They've shorted the company. They're going to, if they've already fallen so much, tomorrow when the market opens, we would know how much money they made. Obviously, they are in this thing for making money, but it doesn't mean that they're wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, facts are facts, And they say that based on our facts, this company is not worth what it is. So with this, Arvindji, you can conclude.
No, but I will say,
yes,
this is catch-22 for Narendra Modi.
Okay.
You know what catch-22 is?
Yeah. He can either let go or not can he avoid it. So it is going to be.
He's damned if he does, and he's damned if he's not.
Damned if he doesn't. Yeah. Sure, Dr. Swami.
Yeah, but Dr. Swami, at the end, Narendra Modi should also clarify what his relations are or what his party's relations are with Adani. I mean, at least for the public's sake, 50% of the people who are not BJP supporters are questioning this relationship. Hindenburg is only one incident, but people are questioning this relationship.
There's a Frank Sinatra song, "Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies."
Well, it's a good point for Adani to defend himself in court. But Dr. Swami, a lot of people, I mean, support. I'm amazed by a lot of people saying that, oh, I'm not going to allow Hindenburg report to be, true. So I'm going to support Adani. You know what? There is a very famous saying: "Fools and their money are easily separated." Arvindji, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. But let me just conclude and say one thing. Whatever be the truth in Hindenburg report and other accusations which have come to Adani's, they must answer these questions. Some 88 odd questions have been asked in this report, and none of these questions have been answered in last 3 days. Whatever reply has been given, that reply is only to threaten people who have been supporting Hindenburg report or the company itself, but none of these 88 questions have been answered. Therefore, the onus lies on Adani's. All the questions which have been asked must be answered. And as I said and suggested, that even Modi should clarify, Narendra Modi should also clarify that they have not been favoring out of the way one group or the other, and therefore there is no such thing like supporting a particular group, even if they are from Gujarat. Thank you, Dr. Swami, for initiating this subject, and our two great researchers based in US who have done work. And the slides that we shown in this program, many of the comments that I saw, they were also appreciating that some information has been available from this source, which was not discussed in the media. And in the background, we have Swaminathan, who had also supported these two gentlemen, SREE Iyer and Ramesh Swami. Thank you very much for that. And as far as LIC is concerned, let me tell you, when LIC went public, the share was offered at 920 rupees. And today the share of LIC is at 600 rupees. And I'm sure after this report will go further down. So who is the loser? Indian investor is the loser. In last few days, the stock market has been suffering because of this report. The prices across the board have been going down, and of course, Adani companies they have suffered. They are the worst sufferers. But ultimately, the money belongs to Indian investors, and therefore, any attempt to destabilize Indian stock market or Indian economy should be resisted. Thank you, SREE Iyer. Thank you, Ramesh Swami. Thanks the technical team led by Ashish Chetty, Gadgi Rakesh, Ishwar Iyer, Swaminathan, Tejas Navalgul, and Najesh Vishal Mehta, Najesh Nair. We will be meeting again next Sunday, 8 p.m. with Dr. Subramanian Swami in the next episode of Words of Wisdom, Gyan Ganga. Till then, Namaskar, Jai Hind.